Hello friends, my name is Paul Goode. I'm coming to you today with what I would call a public service announcement or a public need, so to speak, as one of the Sumner County's elected officials. Let me digress and explain that, and I want to also express my appreciation for the opportunity the Hendersonvillians have given me for many years. I served for a stint on the city council. We call them aldermen. And I still serve as one of Hendersonville's county commissioners from the 10th district, and I'm so grateful and honored for that opportunity. What this is about is a public service announcement because I think we are at critical mass on a very important issue. Critical mass, and that is traffic and roads. All this that you see around me, 65 South, 65 North, and especially 386, also known as Vietnam Veterans Boulevard, this bridge here that so many of you travel 65 South and have to figure out how to get back across from 10 lanes to 2 lanes going 65 North in the afternoons. Now, why I'm telling you this today is because there's going to be a town hall meeting this coming Wednesday in Sumner County with Governor Bill Haslam and our state delegation. It's critical that you try to be there if you can. Are you aware that we have a plan? Well, let me digress. Most people would agree with me, I think, and everyone that I've talked to, which has been a lot, have agreed, is we have a traffic issue today. If nothing changed, we have a traffic issue today. But keep in mind the common sense. It's only going to get worse. It's the best it's ever going to get. We know it's a major problem today. But with the growth that we know is coming and with the growth we're experiencing almost on a weekly and monthly basis, we have to do something. Now, we actually have a plan on the books from our state officials and with the folks here in Sumner County that have been working on this to widen 386 from Gallatin to 65 South and fix the flyover bridge that would add more lanes and even a lane going 65 North. Why that was never done to begin with, I'll never know. Here's the critical part. For Hendersonville, Gallatin, White House, all of northern, this side of Robertson County, are you aware that that plan is not even slated to get started for 18 to 20 years? Let me repeat that. We have a plan to widen 386 that needed to be done yesterday to make it at least 6 lanes instead of the 4 from Gallatin to 65. Slated to get started for 18 to 20 years. It is an average 12 to 15, 10 years at best, 12 on average, 15-year build out. Now folks, people like me, most likely statistically, I won't even live long enough to see the ribbons cut on that to being completed at its current state. And on behalf of all of Hendersonville and Sumner County and the people that have to come and go every day to Nashville and back, the commerce in and out of our communities, even the engineers say for those that are continuing north on 65, whether they're going to the Goodlettsville exit, Millersville exit, on up to White House and Portland and this side of Robertson County, once that bridge is fixed and those roads are widened, it is estimated, depending on who you would speak with from an engineering standpoint, but depending on where you're coming from in Hendersonville and different parts of Sumner County, that trip to and from Nashville, 15 to 30 minutes less than what people are accustomed to today, specifically in rush hour 65 South, 65 North. We're having a meeting this coming Wednesday, February the 22nd, with the governor and the TDOT Commissioner. They can make a decision better than anybody. Station Camp High School, it's important that you try to be there. We cannot wait another 15 to 20 years to address the issue, and you need, if the old adage is true, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. We need Hendersonvillians and Sumner Countyans and Gallatonians and all over this county and north of Nashville. You need to be emailing, you need to be calling your state delegation. We're going to put that on the screen for you, and the governor's office, and saying we cannot handle this. We need your help today. Now, Governor Bill Haslam has a plan that he's going to share on Wednesday in about 6 to 8 years, give or take. So needless to say, basically cut it in half. Now, we've already heard rumor, and I'm going to let them speak for themselves, but a rumor is the majority of our state delegation is completely against it. I don't know that. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that's a rumor, and we'll all find out in due time. But if they're not for it, and I'm not saying you need to be for it, what I'm hoping the people will do will be paying close attention, and if the governor's plan is not a good plan, demand they come up with another plan, because they got to get the funding from somewhere. Demand where that's going to come from. Get this project up and running, so we don't have to wait 20 years to get started and then another 15 years before it's completed, where again people my age may not even be around anymore, and it is going to kill Sumner County as it relates to economic development and everything else. Think about this. You go in any direction, 24 east, 65 south, 40 east west, you can go into the next community already in 6 to 10 lanes, well into their next economic development area, so to speak. Unless you're coming here. And the second you get just north of that Madison exit right over here, you bog down from 10 lanes to 2 lanes. Friends, if you've ever, for those that are active, please stay active and stay on top of this issue. If you're not very active in what's going on with state government and your state delegation and our road situation, now's the time. Now's the time more than ever. Please go through a little bit more of this, just a few more minutes, to explain why this town hall we're having here in Sumner County at Station Camp High School on Wednesday is so critical, and critical now. Friends, if you agree with me, we can no longer kick the can down the road on 386 and getting in and out of Nashville and our traffic around Sumner County. Keep in mind, it's never going to get any better. This is the best it's going to get, and it's only going to get much worse with the continued growth. Hendersonville, Gallatin, White House, Goodlettsville, Portland, all of Sumner County, please, if at all possible, attend this very important, time-sensitive town hall style meeting this coming Wednesday, February the 22nd, 5 o'clock, Station Camp High School. Town hall style meeting with Governor Bill Haslam and TDOT Commissioner John Schroer. All the other elected officials for Sumner County, state and local, have been invited. Specifically to talk about widening and improving Highway 386, also known as Vietnam Veterans Boulevard and the Flyover Bridge, widening I-65 north to the Kentucky line, completing State Route 109 expansion from I-65 to I-40, including the Portland bypass, and much, much more. Friends, at current levels, our elected officials, we don't address these issues for at least 20 years and their 6 to 12 to 15 year build-outs. Doing nothing is not an option, and I'm betting you agree. Waiting 20 more years before addressing it seems ludicrous to me. Friends, if you can come this Wednesday, 5 o'clock, Station Camp High School, 1040 Bison Trail, the Governor and TDOT Commissioner have already committed. Our state delegation has been invited, as well as all other elected officials in Sumner County. Hey friends, I'm right here, 65 North, trying to get onto 386, trying to get further north. At not even the beginning of rush hour. As you can see, it's still daylight, so it's around 4:30ish, and this is the amount of traffic that you see. And as far as the eye can see, the headlights that are coming all the way from the Madison Old Hickory exit that are trying to merge from 10 lanes into 2 lanes to take 386 north into Hendersonville, White House, Gallatin, and further north. Now we have a time with the governor's plan coming up to where the expansion for 386, including the flyover bridge, could get started in 6 to 8 years. Or we have an opportunity that are just trying to get home, to get to soccer, to get to their families and so forth, to shave 10 to 20, maybe 30 minutes for everyone that is trying to get to Hendersonville, to Gallatin, to Portland, and so forth. And when I say Portland, I mean White House, Millersville, this side of Robertson County, that are continuing 65 north to stop the bottleneck. If the governor's plan were to pass, they are estimating this project to widen 386 and the bridge might possibly get started in 6 to 8 years. 6 to 8 years. It is a 6 to 12 year minimum build out. So do the math, folks. If everything worked perfectly and we had the elected officials with the wherewithal to actually try to create progress and realize this unbelievable growth we're having, we might actually get this fixed in 15 to 20 years. Otherwise, at its current level, with nothing being done, it's scheduled to get started in about 20 years. It's February 2017. It is scheduled right now to be done get started in about 20 years, and again, it's a 6 to 12 year build out. How in the world, most of us, myself included, will not even live to see this completed? But we've got to be proactive and fix this issue. This doesn't even address the mass transit problems. Mass transit is separate from this, and we know we've got to deal with that as well, and we're going to deal with that. But we've got to take care of this issue. Again, look at the headlights, folks. This is every day coming 65 north. These headlights, as far back as you can see, and that's just, as you well know, that's Nashville right over the hill there, trying to get take 10 lanes into these 2 lanes. Okay, here I am. All I've done is flip around so you can see this is continuing 65 north, and right behind me is the 386 Vietnam Veterans exit. And not to mention the left lanes continuing to try to go north, whether if they're going on to Goodlettsville, Millersville, White House, Portland, or this side of Robertson County. Again, folks, we have the opportunity, if the governor's bill were to pass, and if it weren't to pass, demand that our elected officials come up with another revenue source that could do the same thing. The same thing being, if the governor's plan passes, they're saying that we could have the 386 flyover bridge and 386 expansion in 6 to 10 years getting started. So for those of us that are trying to be proactive to help Sumner County, to help the north side, to help the residents get to and from Nashville and to and from their families much faster. Friends, please email and call your state delegation today asking them to support the governor's plan. And if they say they can't, ask specifically why and what the alternative solutions are and when will they get started. Whether or not you can make it this Wednesday, February 22nd, to the governor's Sumner County Roads Town Hall meeting, please email your state delegation, every one of them, call them, tell them we want to support the governor's plan or we want an alternative plan that helps with our roads and traffic, and we want action now.